Hey, all my Lincoln super friends. Our Be Nice committee has one more activity that we'd like to share with you this year. And we have another book that we would like to share with you, a kid's book about anxiety. Anxiety is a term that many of us are starting to hear more and more about. It is something that parents have and adults have. It is something that teenagers have, and it's even something that some kids in elementary school have. And anxiety is very real to me. It's very personal to me because my wife has anxiety, and it is a struggle that she deals with. And I learned a lot about it this summer, and it was really quite challenging for me. So it's an important topic for me, and I hope it becomes something that you become familiar with. I hope it's something that you're able to talk with your teacher and classmates about. But even more importantly, I hope it's something that you may feel comfortable talking about with your parents at some time. Because if you ever feel anxious, it's not a good feeling, and there's things that we can do to overcome it. So give a listen to our Be Nice Steering Committee as they present to you a kid's book about anxiety.
Kids learn about their physical health from a really young age. They learn about their body, how much water they should drink, what they should do if they feel sick. We don't teach them the same kind of skills with their mental health. We often wait until they are much older or until something is clearly wrong to start a conversation about how to take care of their emotions. When most people hear the words mental health, they tend to think of a person who has a problem. However, mental health isn't having a problem. The actual definition of mental health is how you address challenges in your life. Mental health is communication, healthy relationships, strong coping skills, and how you take care of your mind. This book is designed to help kids start thinking about their mental health the same way they think about physical health. It's intended to start conversations to normalize mental health from a young age.
Have you ever felt so nervous that you didn't know what to do?
Do you ever feel like you can't calm down no matter how hard you try?
This is a book about the difference between feeling nervous sometimes and having anxiety.
This is something I know a lot about because I've felt anxiety many times in my life.
The story I'm going to tell is about how hard it is to feel anxiety, how to build some skills if you or anyone you know ever feels this way.
My name is Ross. I love recess, chocolate chips, cookies, building blanket forts in my room, throwing a football with my older brother, and I am always wearing my favorite Incredible Hulk t-shirt.
I really like my friends and going to school.
But
Sometimes when I'm sitting in class, I start to feel strange. At first I start to feel like there's a tiny bouncy ball moving from my stomach to my chest. As it moves up, it keeps getting bigger.
Now it's not the size of a bouncy ball, but a baseball. I feel like my heart is beating super fast.
Too fast.
I feel like I need to escape, but I can't.
I look around, it seems that no one else is feeling this way. And it's just a matter of time before I start to cry.
Now the classroom stops, and everyone is looking at me.
I just want this to stop, but I don't know what to do.
I'm not just having a bad day. I'm not upset about forgetting my homework.
No one was mean to me. I'm not just nervous.
I have anxiety.
Anxiety is uncontrollable, an uncontrollable feeling that stops you from doing what you normally do.
Anxiety is different than just being nervous. When you're nervous, It doesn't last that long, like before a test or a game, or before you go to the doctor. Being nervous is a natural feeling everyone has. It lasts a short time and then goes away.
But anxiety is a feeling that continues to grow over time.
It makes you feel powerless, scared, overwhelmed, and frustrated.
Anxiety makes kids' lives really hard.
Anxiety doesn't just go away on its own.
So let me tell my story again, but this time a little different.
I still like cookies, forts, football, and the Hulk.
I also like my friends and going to school.
And sometimes when I'm in class,
I start to feel like there's a tiny bouncy ball moving from my stomach to my chest, and as it moves up, it keeps getting bigger.
I start to take some deep breaths to keep the bouncy ball from growing. The breaths help slow it down, but now my heart is beating super fast. I close my eyes and try to focus on feeling my breath run through my chest.
Now I feel warm, like I'm starting to sweat. I focus on one spot on my desk. Stare at the spot and try to block out everything else that is happening. I feel like my heart isn't racing as fast and my body isn't as warm.
But I'm not sure I can stop my anxiety.
I raise my hand and ask to go to the bathroom. When I get outside of the room,
I start to cry a little bit, but not as much as other times. I walk to the bathroom and continue to take deep breaths.
Eventually, I return to the class. After school, I tell my parents I had to leave class because I couldn't stop my anxiety. My parents told me they support me doing what I need to take care of myself.
can you tell the difference between the two stories?
In the first one, I didn't know what to do and my anxiety takes over. But in the second one, I have some skills to help with anxiety. I learned them from a counselor. It's someone I talk to about my anxiety, who helps me learn how to make sure it doesn't get out of control. I'm learning to talk to people I trust about anxiety.
I have anxiety. At my friend's house, playing basketball, eating dinner with my family, and alone in my room.
Luckily, I have support from my friends, my coaches, and my parents, and my brothers to help me learn what to do.
It takes a lot of practice for me to learn what to do to lessen my anxiety.
I try to get better each time and I make small steps. I'm not able to completely stop my anxiety. I'm learning how to identify when it happens and what to do to slow it down.
From one kid who knows what it's like to have anxiety to anyone reading this book. I hope you know it's okay to not be okay.
Now that you read about my story with anxiety, it's your turn to share your own story. It's helpful for families to talk about any members of their family who have experienced anxiety or other mental health issues. Anxiety is strongly tied to genetics and can skip generations, so make sure to think about grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, and everyone in a family. You can talk about what makes you nervous and how you deal with it. You can talk about about times someone has anxiety and how they manage it. The more we talk about it, the easier it may be for someone to share their experience. The beauty of telling our stories is that they can help families heal. Our stories can take us to places we never imagined we would go.